So many people lose touch with their intuition after a trauma, burnout, or betrayal. Today, we're talking about rebuilding that trust with your intuition, your direct connection to the quantum field, and your most powerful tool for aligned action. Today, I will help you understand how intuition speaks through sensations, emotions, and synchronicity, and how to rebuild trust with that inner voice so it becomes a daily source of guidance and safety. If you've ever thought to yourself, dang, I really should have listened to that gut feeling I had, then this episode is for you. This is an extremely powerful topic, and trusting your intuitive guidance, especially if you're a woman, will help you build a life that you're absolutely in love with. So stay tuned because you won't want to miss a minute of this. Welcome to Jyotindi, Journey to the Inner Divine, a sacred space for healing energy, emotional release, and soulful transformation. If you're ready to live with joy, ease, and purpose, you're in the right place. I want to start by sharing a little bit about my own journey with intuition. When I was a kid, I was a little firecracker. I had super strong boundaries and absolutely no problem enforcing them. Over time, people started commenting on it like it was a bad thing, like I was too aggressive or I was mean. So I started to doubt myself. It used to be that my stomach and I had an intensely strong connection. If something wasn't right for me, I would feel nauseous. And that feeling would only go away when I did what I knew needed to be done. It was my guide, and it always led me in the right direction. Over time, as I began to doubt myself, I started getting frustrated that my stomach wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do, or at least what I thought I wanted at the time. I had a crush on a cute boy. My stomach said, no, he's not the one for you. I wanted to drink with my friends when I was in high school. Absolutely not. It was like having a little moral policeman with me at all times to guide my actions away from what wasn't meant for me and toward my true purpose, which isn't always what I wanted. I questioned if it really had my best interest in mind since it seemed like it was just keeping me away from a lot of fun. I wanted to make mistakes and do all the things that my peers were doing. So I decided to test it. I decided to push through. I wondered if the feeling would ever go away if I didn't listen to it, or if it would just continue to linger until I made things right. Well, it turns out that it did subside. I could ignore it. I could turn the volume down on it and live however I wanted to. I didn't know it at the time, but I was cutting myself off from my divine guidance. I was creating a separation between myself and the quantum field. I was choosing to step away from the path that was so clearly laid out for me, guiding me towards what would have been probably the easier route to my goals. But I turned it off. And it wasn't until probably 13 years later that I realized what I had done. By that time, I'd been ignoring my intuition so long that I had no idea how to find it again. I ended up hiring a coach who taught me how to turn up the volume. He showed me what I needed to do in order to start hearing my higher self again. And that was so eye opening. I realized how many mistakes I'd made, and I finally saw what I needed to do to get myself back onto my true path. Unfortunately, it took me a few more years before I was able to build up the courage and work out the logistics of being able to take action on what I knew I had to do. Since then, I've been listening to the messages that my body sends me. I've learned about human design and the sacral response of and that's found in manifesting generators and generators, which is what I am. This provides me another way to tap into my sacred intuition. And I've found that when I follow my intuition, I am so much happier and more at peace, and my anxiety is far lower. So, one question that I get asked a lot about intuition is how can I tell if it's intuition talking or if it's just fear? And this is such an important question. And it's one that my clients struggle with when they're learning to trust their intuition. So I'm going to explain the difference, starting with intuition, and hopefully give you a little bit of clarity. Intuition is a calm knowing. Even if the message is uncomfortable or unexpected, there's a groundedness to it. It doesn't create panic, it creates clarity, even if that clarity can be kind of hard to accept. It's expansive. Intuition opens possibilities. It might say something like, don't take that job, but it feels like it's protecting you for something, not just from something. It's present focused. It speaks to what's true right now. This doesn't feel aligned. Something's off here, or this is your next step. It's not caught up in what ifs or past experiences or last time XYZ happened, so maybe this time's the same. Intuition is either neutral or has a loving tone. Your intuition will never be mean. It doesn't shame you or make you feel small. It guides you with compassion. The body sensations that come along with intuition show up as a gut feeling, or it could be warmth in your chest, a relaxation in your shoulders, or a subtle yes in your body. It feels like truth landing, and it's consistent. When you check in multiple times, the message stays steady. It doesn't change based on your mood. If you're familiar with IFS therapy or internal family systems, your intuition is going to align with your self energy. And there are 8 C's in IFS, and intuition aligns with them. They are curiosity, calmness, clarity, courage, confidence, creativity, connectedness, and compassion. Intuition is universal energy speaking to you. It is your higher self. It's God. Intuition shows up when you're tuned into the quantum field and the universal consciousness that we're all connected to. Fear, on the other hand, feels urgent and loud. Fear screams. It creates a sense of emergency. You have to decide right now or everything will fall apart. Fear feels contracting. It closes you down. It makes the world feel smaller and more dangerous. And it's protective, but in a suffocating kind of way. Fear is often future focused. It obsesses over worst case scenarios. What if this happens? What if I fail? What if they judge me? It's always projecting into an imagined future. And it often has a critical or punishing tone. Fear often sounds like your inner critic. You're not good enough. You always mess things up. Who do you think you are? The body sensations that come along with fear are tension and tightness in your chest, shallow breathing, a churning stomach, or a racing heart. It feels more like a threat response. I don't know if it's adrenaline or cortisol, but I feel it rush through me like a wave. It's a similar sensation that I get when I'm on a roller coaster right before it drops, but instead of being paired with excitement, it's paired with fear or worry. And it's inconsistent. Fear's messages change. One day it'll say, don't do that. And the next day it'll say, you're an idiot for not doing that. It's a cruel liar and it's reactive to your anxiety level. Now, the tricky part is that sometimes intuition does warn you away from something, and that can feel kind of scary. But the key is that intuition is warning you and it still feels calm and clear. It's more of a feeling of, nope, not this, or this isn't for me. And it certainly does not feel like, oh my God, everything's terrible. And to make things even more complicated, sometimes fear is actually trying to protect you from real danger. So you don't want to dismiss all fear either. Fear is also a sacred messenger. The trick is to learn what fears are pointing you away from danger and what fears are trying to keep you playing small, hiding your light, and then take appropriate action. And your intuition isn't just a feeling. It's your direct connection to the quantum field, to universal wisdom, to the energy and the information that exists beyond what your physical senses can perceive. When you learn to trust it, you're literally tapping into the infinite intelligence and possibility. Your intuition is like your quantum antenna. The quantum field is essentially infinite potential. It's all possibilities. all information, all timelines existing simultaneously. It's not bound by linear time or physical space like we experience now. When you tap into your intuition, you're essentially tuning into that field and accessing information that your logical mind cannot perceive through the five senses alone. Your intuition's like a receiver. It's picking up signals from the quantum field. It's how you access things like information about situations that you're not physically present for, or insights about other people's energy or intentions. It's how you get guidance about which path leads where, even before you take it. And it's that knowing that something's going to happen before it happens. So, why does intuition work from a quantum level? In quantum physics, like we've talked about in our previous episodes, everything is vibration. Particles are connected across space, as seen in quantum entanglement, and the observer effect is what's being observed. And this means we're all connected energetically. Your intuition can pick up on someone else's energy, their intentions, or a situation because at the quantum level, there really is no separation. We're all part of the same field. It means that multiple timelines exist simultaneously. When your intuition says this path feels right, you're sensing the energetic frequency of that potential timeline. You're literally feeling into different future possibilities. And your frequency determines what you access. The clearer and higher your vibration, the more clearly you can tune into the quantum field. Fear and trauma create static that blocks the signal. And you can raise your vibration through practices like meditation, breath work, and emotional clearing. Your intention collapses possibility into reality. So when you get an intuitive hit and then take aligned action, you're taking all those quantum potentials and collapsing them into a physical manifestation. Your intuition shows you what's possible, and your choices help make it real. This is where manifestation, intuition, and quantum physics all intersect beautifully. When you are aligned and clear, you're vibrating at a frequency that will allow you to receive intuitive downloads from the field, like information, ideas, and guidance. It'll allow you to sense energetic truth about situations, like this feels right or wrong, or this person feels aligned or not aligned. And it allows you to co create with the universe by following these intuitive nudges toward your highest and best timeline. Now, your past trauma can literally create interference in your ability to access the field clearly, like static on a radio. As you heal and turn up the dial on the volume of your intuition, you clear that interference and strengthen your connection to universal intelligence. So, on your path to healing, you can think of your intuition as your GPS. It's going to guide you and tell you which turns to take. And like any road trip, you're free to ignore the guidance. You can go on side quests to spice things up a little bit and keep it fun, or you can accidentally make wrong turns, or you can just follow it to a T. It's totally up to you. And you can always find your way back to the path. And if you desire, you can even change the destination whenever you want. Personally, I believe that my higher self has a set of checkpoints that I need to hit while I'm on the road. There are reasons that I came into this existence, specific lessons to learn and experiences to have, but also a lot of freedom to choose how those show up. I get to decide how easy or difficult the route is to get there. And if I ever get tired of struggling my way through it, I can just relax and trust my guidance to get me there easily and peacefully. So, how can you tell if your efforts are working? Well, it's noticing synchronicities. Synchronicity is the universe's way of like winking at you. It's proof that when you listen to your intuition and take that aligned action, reality literally rearranges itself to support you. Those coincidences aren't random. They're confirmation that you're co creating with the quantum field. Intuition is your internal guidance system. It's you receiving information from the quantum field. You're getting those inner nudges and knowings. And synchronicity is the external validation. It's the universe reflecting back that you're on the right path. It's arranging coincidences that confirm your intuitive hits. They're basically two sides of the same conversation with the universe. Intuition is the universe speaking to you, and synchronicity is the universe speaking through your reality. For example, you get an intuitive hit to reach out to an old friend, and then you run into them at the coffee shop the next day. Or you're thinking about making a career change, and then suddenly three different people mention the same opportunity to you within a week. You're guided to take a different route home, and later you find out that there was an accident on your usual route. Or you meet someone on that new path who becomes really significant in your life. Maybe you keep seeing angel numbers like 1111 or other repeating numbers right when you're doubting yourself or asking for a sign. These are all ways that you can start to pay attention to the synchronicities happening in your life. Now, in the quantum field, everything is interconnected and it's responsive to your consciousness. So when you follow your intuition, you raise your vibration, you align with your truth, you shift your energetic frequency. The field responds by arranging the circumstances to match that frequency. So synchronicities appear as physical proof of your energetic alignment. It's like the universe saying, yes, you've turned to the right channel. Keep going. And since we talk about healing a lot, our main goal here is healing. Why this matters for healing. Those of us who've experienced trauma, synchronicity becomes evidence that we're safe to trust again. We can trust ourselves. We can trust the universe. We can trust the process of manifestation. When you've been hurt, your nervous system learns the world is unpredictable and dangerous. But when you start following your intuition and synchronicities show up to validate it, it helps you rewire your belief. You start to experience, oh, I'm actually being guided, or the universe is conspiring for me, not against me. I can trust these inner nudges because they are leading me somewhere good. And that is incredibly healing for somebody who's felt lost or stuck or like life just happens to them. So here's a practice that you can try to tune into your intuition if you're unsure if it's fear or intuition speaking. First, I want you to pause and drop into your body and take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, is this fear or intuition? And then just notice. Where do you feel it in your body? Where does it feel tight and urgent or grounded and clear? If you imagine moving forward with this guidance, does your body relax or does it tense up? And then ask the voice to clarify. What are you protecting me from? Fear will give you catastrophic stories, and intuition will give you a simple truth. So then check the timeline. Is this about something that might happen, like fear, or something that is, your intuition? This will help you understand that developing your intuition isn't just woo woo, it's actually accessing a real energetic field that quantum physics is proving exists. So, what is your experience with this? Have you had moments where your intuition gave you information that felt like it came from beyond your personal knowing? Like you were tapping into something bigger? Let me know on Instagram or Facebook, or you can even email me directly. My email address is mariah@mariahaurora.com. And to help you deepen this practice, I have made you a free printable checklist that you can keep with you to help you determine if these nudges that you're feeling are your higher self or if it's fear. You can get yours at mariahaurora.com/freebie/intuition or at the link in the show notes. And I do really hope that you found today's episode inspiring. What you've learned today can transform your entire life from one where you feel lost and confused to one where you feel deeply connected to your power. And I want that for you. If you did find something in this episode helpful, would you take a quick moment and share it? Everyone can benefit from the things that we talk about here, and you never know what kind of life-changing impact you can have on someone by just doing one simple act of kindness to let them know that you're thinking of them. Thank you for being here with me today, and never forget, There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path.